Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Total War Warhammer. So I've thought about this a little bit. This battle is probably going to be quite difficult. I'm not worried about Schwarzhafen's garrison at all, but this army is pretty big and pretty scary. But I think we're just going to go at them with Krokgar. And here's why. We could run past them and try to get to Castle Drakenhof. We could just hang out here in the mouth of the mountains. If we hang out here, we're basically just running over there and fighting them, right? Like, the garrison here is so weak as to be non-existent in the battle. So if we're going to do that, we may as well just fight while they're exhausted. If we run for Castle Drakenhof, I'm not 100% sure they won't be able to catch us and then fight us one-on-one in the field while we're tired. So the option really is just like, it's between back off as much as possible and try to regroup with Yarick's army, or just go for this. And I'm going to go for it for two reasons. Number one, we haven't had a really challenging battle in a little while, and I think I'd like to test our troops' might. And number two, if we do successfully destroy Manfred von Karstein's army here, and then we win the battle at Carrick Cadron, this is going to be the worst first turn of a war for these vampire counts that anyone has ever seen. This is going to be like an absolute disaster. We declared war, we killed all of their units, and we took all of their big settlements except one in a single blow. And I kind of love being the force who did that. Also, it'd be a nice message to everyone in the world not to mess with us. So, let's do it. Let's do the thing. The balance of power bar is like, are you sure? I don't know about this. Yeah, I'm sure. I guess I'm saying that the garrison doesn't matter at all. It is worth noting that there is a vampire in that garrison. They do have one single vampire unit, and that unit could matter. 4 dragons is scary, for sure. They also have a lot of cavalry, and these hex wraiths, which are just, they're like cairn wraiths on horses, ghost guys on ghost horses. It's a little bit more dangerous for this army than it was for Yarick's, because we have more normal melee here who are not going to be good at fighting these guys, but we still have the explosive rocks, we still have the Bastillodon and the salamanders. I'm confident we'll figure it out. Let's gamble on that. And of course we've got Lord Croak. Lord Croak can deal with a guy who is physical immune. Okay, so we don't get to know anything about their setup. Let's put you guys on this hill face. It's sort of a hill. Put the mace dudes in front of you, and then we definitely want a unit of spears on each side ready to receive cavalry charge. And then probably also a unit of spears back here, just like ready to step out in case we get flanked while I'm not paying attention. Which, as we all know, is a thing that absolutely is going to happen. Because we have dinosaurs on the opposite sides. Alright, Krokgar has his stuff, and then... Of course, we have to be very careful with our flyers here until we figure out the dragon situation. I'm certainly not doing any vanguard deployment in this battle. So they're actually running away from us. Well, we have the range advantage here. We have a siege weapon, and they don't. I think what I'm going to do is just walk forward. We don't have to move forward very much for the Bastillodon to be able to start shooting at the dragons. And that's how I want to start this. Oh, sorry. Nobody run. Everybody take it easy. Let's not get tired before the battle even begins. Man, the salamanders are just, like, really a lot faster than everything else in our army. Okay, let's see how they respond to this. Oh, also, I should be hitting this on cooldown. Wow, good hit. Okay, how they respond to this is that they do not respond to this. They don't care about that at all. I'm kind of curious, if we move the flyers up... I'm just trying to bait them forward, because I would love to be able to get them with the salamanders, but obviously I don't want the salamanders to run into the open. Okay, every time we hit them, their caster does something. I don't even know what spell that is. Oh, he's healing it. Yeah, that makes sense. It is experiencing some minor leadership issues. It's not really enjoying the being shot from a distance thing. Let's try to knock these dudes out of the sky as quickly as we can. They will engage us in aerial melee combat, but they're really pretty bad units. Blood Knights are eating salamander fire, which is what we have to hope for. Try to disengage you guys. The salamanders hopefully will do their thing quickly. I don't really want to have the spears turn around and stab the Black Knights, even though obviously they'll be the best at it, because they have another job here. This dragon has... this Terrorgeist, rather, has moved into range. Oh, right, Manfred von Karstein can fly. I totally spaced on that. That's a real problem. How do I want to deal with that? Well... yeah, no, I just totally forgot. That's a real problem. I guess that means all of the flyers fall back? And maybe we have to focus the salamanders on him. The thing is, he's tough. It says wizard, but he's a good fighter. He has 100 armor with 5,800 health. We might be able to burn him down. It would certainly help the battle a lot if we could. Let's try it. Let's try focusing the salamanders on him. I'm just going to go ahead and fire off the first one of these. We're going to have lots and lots of opportunities to deploy the bubble. We may as well get started early. And then, do I want to also throw out the first deliverance here? It takes a while to go off. These troops are not very fast. I think that should be good. And a deliverance there while they're still kind of grouped up should be a pretty good thing. Yeah, that was pretty perfect, actually. Alright, a lot of explosions. A lot of explosions happening all over the Terrorgeist. It's actually getting more damage than Manfred von Karstein is, despite the fact that he is the main target. Okay, so what do we want to do with the flyers? I'm really not too worried about the bats. It looks like the bats are dying even as we're running away from them. That's not going too well. They are, in fact, trying to do a flank around the backside, so the spears over here are probably going to be useful. I might even have these spears move, like, set up a little bit more like this. It's clear they're trying something over there. These guys are locked in combat with exactly the enemies they should be locked in combat with. Try to burn the monster first. And Krukgar needs to get involved. Let's fire off a Hand of the Gods at this thing. It'd be really cool if we could kill these dragons quickly. Oh wow, Hand of the Gods actually does great damage. Lord Croak is in direct physical combat. It's very hard for me to imagine that it's wrong to drop another Deliverance of Itza. I just got to try to figure out, like, where is the place that's going to do the most damage? Because I think I do want to commit it immediately. You probably don't want to cast it on top of cavalry, because they have the ability to get out of the way. Yeah, I just want to catch... Yeah, we can put it right here, and the Graveguard will hopefully walk into it. Yeah, I think there's a pretty good chance that works out. Unfortunately, they just have a lot of units. Here, let's pull some of the flyers away from the side there. They just have a lot of units that are very fast and good at maneuvering around my stuff. And I'm going to have these hunting packs stop firing into my own units. Truckgar is down here, and he is hopefully going to actually be capable of handling this situation. That was not a great... That deliverance was not as good. Sorry, this is definitely going to be a pause-heavy battle. Alright, the Vargulfs are falling apart, as the Vargulfs tend to do. They do good damage, but they just get murdered really easily. That Terrorgeist is having a rough go of things, but Lord Croak is also having kind of a tough time. I think let's have Krokagar focus on Manfred. I was having him attack the Terrorgeist, I think, but the Terrorgeist is going down. Let's try to keep Manfred off of Lord Croak, I think. Like, I might move Lord Croak over to here, just to wander him away. And rocks. I think we are at the time for the first rocks. You guys get over there quickly. What? Why can't I... Engaged in melee? Oh, the damn Terrorgeist flew over the instant we were in position. The damn Terrorgeist flew over to melee us. Alright, well, as much as I am concerned about the Blood Knights, we do have to kill the Terrorgeist as best we can here. This is definitely the time for the first charge of the Revivification Crystal. This guy can also get in and throw down some melee. The Fellbats have committed themselves in a way that I think is just hugely unwise. Terrible, terrible play. And we need to get some rock dropping going. Over here's another good position. Hopefully we can actually pull this one off. This is actually a really, really good position. There's a bunch of units of strong melee troops pulled in right on top of each other. And we're doing a lot of good damage in a lot of places, but they have monsters in our lines. So, Croak. He has Thing available again. I think probably something like this is the right drop for him. And we have enough winds to throw out another pretty big explosion. And this time, a lot of the enemies are locked in combat. It does seem to do more damage nearer the center, though, so should we try to get a bunch of guys, or like, maybe it's better to do like this. This is going to hit our own guys a little bit. Yeah, it does not... Oh no, explosion does not affect friendly troops. Okay, never mind. Just trying to reset it a little bit here. So we want to drop it directly on top of these guys, in fact. Get that unit of healthy Graveguard right at the center. And Chameleon Skinks need to back up a little bit. It looks to me like they are not, in fact, trying to ride their units of cavalry around. They're just, like, waiting patiently. They're doing cycle charges, which is annoying, but does mean that we don't need to keep that unit of guys way back in reserve. Okay. How are our characters doing? Krokagar is actually totally kicking ass. Krokagar's an amazing fighter. But we have a lot of enemies right up on top of us, and I'm not sure what the best way to deal with them all is. This unit of horses that we've been shooting at over here is pretty screwed up, but they're not actually crumbling yet, so I think probably we ought to keep the pressure on for the moment. Okay, I think that's good. Turn and help with this now. It would be best if we could get around and start stabbing these horsemen in the flank. I don't know how well that's actually going to work in practice. And I mean, obviously they're going to back up as soon as it starts going wrong for them. Salamanders are amazing, though. I don't know how you played Lizardmen before there were salamanders. Okay, the Source Warriors with shields are holding out okay against the zombies, which is no big surprise, but, like, there are real enemies, too. We have to figure out how to deal with those. And we still have some rocks. Do we have rocks, like, in this area? That explosion was very effective. Part of the problem that we're having here is that the rocks are not effective against the monsters, and that's the biggest problem we're having. Okay, this Bastillodon is out there and pretty deep. Okay, I think we're winning this side. We do not have access to another charge of the Revivification Crystal yet. The Sauruses over there are absolutely dead. But I mean, we're crumbling the Vargulfs. Very few of their monsters are still in good shape. Let's see, you're particularly effective anti-large. I mean, I know he's been fighting Manfred, but maybe he ought to try to get rid of this Terrorgeist a little bit. And remember, they were in March mode, so part of the reason they're underperforming a little bit in melee here is that they're tired. If we had waited and fought them on our next turn or fought them on their turn when they marched out to attack us, that would not have been true. So it's probably a pretty good thing that we engaged when we engaged. Alright, who has a rock? Who has rocks? Let's try to apply some of these rocks in places that matter. Like, there's still a lot of Black Knights to deal with. Yeah, see, the rock drop really doesn't do very much to him, unfortunately. Chase those guys. Don't let them get away. We might want to disengage this unit of salamanders if we can. Oh, actually, we have hex wraiths all up in our stuff here. Okay, like, the plan's got to be like this unit of salamanders backs off and attacks the hex wraiths. We can have Lord Croak run over there, I guess. We should probably like drop the bubble so that it protects the salamanders a little bit. You guys focus on him, just keep his stats low. And Revivification Crystal probably on the salamanders. And maybe I should have done it on the Sauruses. Like, a couple of the units of spears are still pretty healthy. This corpse cart here, this Unholy Lodestone corpse cart, is not actually a combat unit, but it has this aura that is constantly replenishing the hit points of the combatants. We don't really have... It's a very slow effect. But we don't really have a good way of just, like, sniping out a large unit like this, given how distracted we are by the dragons and everything. So this thing is... It is providing a significant... It's providing an okay melee attack and defense buff and also some healing. But the, like, the hex wraiths and stuff... Hex wraiths, the, what do you call it? Terrorgeists and stuff are so dangerous that I think we do have to actually just focus on them first. And unfortunately, this army doesn't have anything like the Amber Spear or even just the damage that is dealt by Roxburgh to a single target. In theory, Krokgar could go and fight that thing if he wasn't busy keeping other stuff off of our more vulnerable units. Damn it, the Black Knights managed to ride out of there pretty quickly. Alright, we're about to have another charge of the good thing. Revivification Crystal guy's getting his damage in. Let's try to have these guys fall back and buy a little bit of space for these salamanders to shoot their shot. Okay. Where does this explosion go? It probably goes on the hex wraiths, right? We need them to be engaged so that they won't move. I didn't really know how to make that happen here. Anybody have rocks left? No, we've used all of the rocks. No, we have not. We have one charge. Well, I guess we have to try to hit some cavalry with it. We probably have... I don't know if I want to run him all the way out there. Never mind. Turn around and fight these guys. Yeah, this rock unit just like has to catch these blood knights. So let's wait for the hex wraiths to commit a little bit. See if we can catch them in place. That actually looks pretty good. That looks like a good spot to drop the thing. We'll catch a number of them this way. How's Krukgar doing? He is in there. He is fighting that vampire and this Terrorgeist and winning. They're both at lower health than he is. He does have one more cast of his Hand of the Gods, but I want to wait until he's not in melee. Right now, he can contribute considerably just by punching. Let's let him keep punching. Alright, let's have these guys focus on the Chillgeists. Have these guys focus on this unit of cavalry that is harassing us. And we should probably just have all of the flyers focus in on the Chillgeists. The flying damage, or the flying damage, the fire damage will be pretty effective, I think. You guys have to keep the stats of the big units low. It looks like the corpse cart should not have pulled into melee. Like I said, it's really, really not a melee unit. It's not a combat unit. And by pulling into melee, I think it put itself in a position to lose all of its morale. Because losing in, obviously, like losing in direct combat hurts your morale a lot. Okay, that explosion was reasonably effective. Get him. He's doing good damage out here. That unit of spears is probably dead, but they're doing a good job just holding those guys in place. And honestly, Lord Croak is not much of a melee combatant, but he's doing an alright job. He really knows how to blow up a Vargulf. I want to have him just disengage, but I'm terrified that the moment he does so, the Vargulf is going to kill all of my salamanders. Get the salamanders to redirect. Looks like we killed the Chill Wraith. So what's left? We should definitely pull you guys away from the dragon. Oh, sorry, I gave orders to some Sauruses there that I did not want to change the orders of. You guys should just focus on that Terrorgeist. So you can see, they've been casting this Invocation of the Heck. They've had a lot of healing from their corpse cart back when it was still in the battle. We have bashed our way through like a really significant amount of HP here. And Lord Croak is winning against this thing, but I'm concerned that he's not winning quite fast enough. Could you maybe help out with that? Just help push it over the edge on health. And you were chasing something off the map. Get back over here. Okay, you two gotta help Croak. Like, he's gotta... This thing has to die. We probably are not going to get to cast again with him, but he can still provide the bubble. Okay, I think that should be sufficient. They're actually attacking it now. You can just wander him backwards a little bit. Look at the enemies are all trying to, like, run away from Krukgar. See if we can get Hand of the Gods off on that Terrorgeist. Alright, Manfred von Karstein. You are a fool and you have been defeated. The enemy force is forced to land an attack or surrender this territory. Get him! Sorry, you guys should back off. Don't. Flying units do not get him. But everybody else get him. I mean, I'll say this for him. He is doing a remarkable job of surviving despite the number of times we have blown his face up. Just gonna keep him flying back and forth while he tries to melee pterodons. And he's suffering some pretty bad crumbling effects here. He'll fall out of the sky under his own power soon enough. Oof. I think he landed on his head. Not that it much matters, I guess. Alright, total defeat. We lost some Sauruses there. That's fine. In theory, we have a unit of Temple Guard coming up to replace them. We'll see if those guys ever actually arrive. Lord Croak with a meager 376 kills. I gotta say, I'm a little unimpressed by the effect of the Revivification Crystal, but the dinosaur that it's mounted on is still a pretty good melee fighter. I was expecting it to be a little bit more dramatic. It feels like each use of the Revivification Crystal restores less health than an Invocation of Nahek does. It just does not seem like a very good thing at all. I would much rather this be an Engine of the Gods mounted on an Ancient Stegodon or something. Oh well, we had to find out. So that is the second massive major army that they've lost this turn, isn't it? Or no, I guess the other battle was just against a castle garrison. But as far as we know, Manfred and Helman Gorst up in the mountains are the only actual armies they have nearby. Let's loot and occupy. This is a minor settlement. It's probably not very valuable as it is, and I'm looting not for the money, but for the health. Could use that replenishment. Okay, a reduction in the suffering from vampiric attrition. I guess that's fine. It's not a great trait. Alright, Krokgar. Did you... We did not actually take Obliterate Undead. We did not have Obliterate Undead for that. Well, at this point, he probably doesn't need it. Might consider grabbing Kill the Dwarves, because I think there's a chance we're going to need that. But let's grab this first. Okay, we have some stuff in the pool here. Okay, so we could grab these red-crested skinks to buff his army up. Should probably repair this and build ourselves... Yeah, actually, grazing pastures would be really nice. What we do not need is this. Do I want to hold on to that for a turn and just recruit some red-crested skinks real quick? Yeah, sure. And we'll grab that Regiment of Renown to fill out the army. It's not totally ideal, but I don't want to reduce the melee count in his army any further. Alright, let's deal with this. I think this one should be considerably easier. They have way less stuff that actually interacts with our Air Force. They do have 3 corpse carts. Reduces the power recharge rate at an amount proportional to the number of enemy units in range. That doesn't seem good at all. Yeah, these corpse carts. I don't know. I don't know that those are actually good. It would be nice if Tiktaq'to's army was in full health, at full health, in perfect shape, but I don't think we're gonna need it. So they have one settlement left that has a real garrison, and as far as we know, no actual major armies. There is still going to be that tiny army that Tiktaq'to pushed away from Carrick Cadron, but those guys are messed up. So I'm expecting the rest of this war to go very smoothly. Krokgar and Yarrick can hit Castle Drakenhof together, or whatever the other castle's called. So that shouldn't be a problem. Yeah, the lizardmen show up and all of a sudden you lose your entire empire. Okay, I think we just want to set up on one of the ends. It doesn't really matter where, although that does not give us much of an ability to open the door when we want to open it. That's all right. We'll send the Carnosaur over there. He can wait for our orders, and then he can prep the door as we approach. And I guess we ought to... Let's put all the flyers on the opposite side. Do this, and then you guys just get in here and we'll figure it out. I feel like at this point, we shouldn't even have to tell the Carnosaur what to do. It knows. Go and run over and stand by the door, and we'll decide if we actually want you to do anything over here later. Okay. So we have a lot of pretty basic enemies here. We definitely want to blow up these Fellbats. So actually, it should be pretty trivial. Let's get you guys all over here. Yeah, the Fellbats want to go to war with the Colossedon Hunters. Are you sure? I don't think that's going to work out the way you want it to. Tiktaq'to, get over here. Wait, he's not quite in range to distribute a buff yet. And I might... Oh, never mind. I was going to say I might even fire off crows, but the Colossedon Hunters have already defeated the Fellbats in combat. I'm telling you, man, Fellbats are just the worst. They are such bad units. Okay. Buffs for everybody. Not that they're necessary. Okay, now for right now, these units are doing nothing of value. I guess the thing for us to do is just to... Yeah, I'm not too worried about this stuff. Just to come over here, and we'll do rock drops and stuff on these guys. Yeah, like I said, I've seen Fellbats lose in melee to archery units, just like random Empire archers. I've seen Fellbats lose to Dwarven artillery crews. I don't have any idea what they're for. They're just terrible at everything. Like, the idea of a weak, fast-flying cavalry unit for the purpose of, like, dealing with artillery crews and stuff totally makes sense. And the bats can beat some types of artillery crews. Like, Bretonnian and Empire artillery crews probably do not stand much of a chance against them. But it's just... They're very disappointing, and it's hard to devote an army slot to them. Especially when the vampires have a lot of actually good units that you could be running instead. And obviously, like, Blood Knights and stuff are way better at this purpose, but you don't get Blood Knights super early. Where is Roxburgh? I want to make sure I'm selecting the right dude, because we should probably kill the lord of this army. Where are you, Helmengorst? Here he is. Helmengorst is a wizard, and he's a wizard in a more traditional sense. He is not going to survive a ton of focused fire from our hero and our wizard. Is he riding around on a chariot? Oh, he's on his own corpse cart. Being pulled by a bunch of poor zombies. Really? They couldn't even spare some, like, zombie horses for him? Buddy, I think your service is undervalued by your team. Hey, feel free to shoot that amber spear. No, it just didn't feel it was necessary. Okay. Maybe let's move him away a little bit. Maybe he can't throw it, like, directly down. There we go. Now he's casting. Okay, it did something. So you can see the green glowing swirlies. That's them casting their Invocation of Nahak. Trying to kill their wizards, but they do have a vampire as well. Probably what we're going to have to do is just run through their whole supply of winds. Let's get you guys over here. Still very dense with enemies. Oh, never mind. This is the place right there. Yeah, they're just sort of milling around idly. It doesn't really seem like they have a plan for dealing with us. Okay, we still have character rocks. I think we just keep harassing them for the moment. I don't know that we really need to do much else. We're definitely getting through. And Helmengorst is dying. It's not going super quickly. Let's shoot fire at, sure, some Graveguard. Drop a lightning bolt on this Vargulf, maybe? See if he actually stands there and takes it. You can see, oh no! Our winds of magic aren't draining into our pool appropriately. Whatever shall we do? I think it changed targets on me at the last moment there. Yeah, it hit the Vargulf instead. That's annoying. Do we want to do crows? I don't have any direct morale reducers. So yeah, I guess let's throw out some crows. We're just trying to get them to break, right? I want them to have as many things negatively affecting their morale as possible, because as soon as they break, we're going to see their morale drop, or we're going to see their health drop precipitously. Yeah, you can see some of the units are they already have the red sparkles of failure. We're doing some good work here. Let's try to push some of these units that are close to crumbling over. Getting hit by magic, as you might imagine, is a little bit discouraging. Overcast, and this time we're actually going to hit Helmengorst. It didn't really do very much damage. Okay, what is the tower ownership situation? Right now they own one tower. I think let's have people run over here. The Sauruses are going to eat a ton of tower fire due to being very slow. It's about time we let ourselves in, though. Helmengorst is under half health. Oh, Tiktaq'to still has a rock. We should drop this rock. Okay, yeah, I hit some people there. You still have a rock. We should drop that as well. Actually, the spot he was in is probably the right place to do it. I'll say this for Helmengorst. He is holding on. He's holding on more effectively than I thought he was going to. Okay, we got another group wavering. We are out of character rocks, unfortunately. We are now actually out of rocks. May as well have you guys just back off somewhere else. People who don't have any ammo anymore. Looks like we killed all the units that aren't heavily armored. You two focus on those guys because they're right in the middle of everybody, and also those are the ones that are closest to permanently breaking. And the time has come. Let's just charge in. Like, we've weakened these guys enough. They have absolutely no chance of surviving. Try to force some melee through the gate before we bring in the salamanders here. The salamanders will make short work of those Vargulfs. Our melee, also, will probably make short work of those Vargulfs. Oh, actually, I didn't realize there's a unit of crypt ghouls still alive. Let's shoot at them with the explosives. We're wearing Helmengorst down. It's tough. He has regeneration and stuff. I think at this point we could probably have Tiktaq'to descend on these dudes from the back and deliver his big buffs. You have the Ripperdactyls do the same thing, but on the other side. I'm not really using my flyers as aerial cavalry very much, but that is a valuable role for them. I'm a little bit worried about the Ripperdactyl riders just dying, because they seem to be quite fragile. But at this, like, the enemies are so weakened at this point that I'd be surprised if they were able to kill even a pretty weak unit of shock cavalry. Although, I mean, I say that, but immediately the Ripperdactyls have taken like 30% of their health. Alright, maybe disengage these dudes. They're getting too torn up. This death vampire finally realized that the battle is occurring over in this direction. Get you over here and distribute some massive negative to enemy melee ability. A little hard to see what's happening here. Keep focusing on Helmengorst. You get him. It would be a lot easier if we could get the salamanders through the gate. They can shoot through the gate a little bit. We've seen them doing that, but... oh, Jesus. Yeah, the Colossedon Hunters, for real. You guys gotta get out of there. We're leaving one Vargulf behind to cover the back, I guess. Yeah, the Colossedon Hunters are not... they're not terribly good at surviving. They're very, very weak. Try to pull the cavalry out. I will say they're holding up remarkably well for an army that should have at this point no morale at all. Pros and buffs. So the cavalry unit is not going to be successful in withdrawing. Yeah, like, none of them have any health left. This should be having more of an effect on them than it is. Helmengorst himself is very close to death. If we can get the Carnosaur to throw its weight around a little bit and get through to him and kill him, I think we're going to see a lot of these guys formally break instantly upon his death. We just need a little bit more damage on him. It's so hard to tell what is going on in the melee. The Carnosaur seems to not be attacking anybody at all. It's just kind of... okay, there it goes. I think my units are suffering from bad brain. They have the brain problem. Okay, the salamanders are starting to find their angle. Where's Tiktaq'to? Can I get him to, like, disengage from the battle? I'm hoping that we can pull out and have him swoop Helmengorst. I think, yeah, he's... okay, he's gotten over there onto him now. All we need is a little bit more damage on Gorst, and this thing will be over. Our hero ran out of ammo. Well, get down there and murder him with your melee weapon. Just kill him. Alright, Helmengorst is down. Yep, and you immediately see some wavering beginning. The Carnosaur has just been knee-deep in enemies, which is as deep as he could possibly be in enemies this whole time, and he is in perfect health. He is just an unstoppable killing machine. I'm gonna have Tiktaq'to fall back. If he were to fall, we would probably start to see some issues with our own morale. Sneak away and fly. Yeah, our flying cavalry have not been effective as cavalry this battle. They're really not getting anything accomplished. Hey, I am pretty sure I told you to run. Yeah, I definitely had told him to run. Okay, well, Wissen's wild form on the Carnosaur. Somehow it's the only one of us who is still in the battle. I'm a little bewildered at how my units are doing such a bad job of fighting the Vargulfs. So we've seen units that are worse than the ones in this army completely rout Vargulfs with no problem. If we fly over here and keep the buffs going. Like, I know that their corpse carts are having a non-zero effect, but we just fought a battle where they had corpse carts, and it was not... They certainly weren't doing this. Let's have the Pterodon Riders try getting down here on the corpse carts. Maybe a little bit of a push. The Carnosaur is in, like, actual danger here. And that is unacceptable. Unfortunately, he's in full rampage mode, and I cannot disengage him. Nor can I cause him to focus on the Vargulf that's dealing damage to him. At this point, though, their army is mostly corpse carts. The point of swarming it with flyers was not to deal any damage, because we know that those flyers don't deal damage. But rather to just kill it through morale loss. And it seems to mostly be working. Okay, Carnosaur is calm. Let's have him back up. You've done good work, friend. You don't need to stay in here. Say, where the hell are my salamanders? Hey guys, you have orders. Okay, here's part of the problem. The salamanders are, like, aggressively not following my orders. We have an enemy over here that must be shot with salamander breath. Their vampire is still at full health. Yeah, okay. What is happening here? Alright, so part of the problem is that my units decided that my orders didn't sound fun. They didn't want to do them. So that's becoming clearer, at least. Alright, flyers back up. Done a good job of reducing enemy morale. In theory, we should have actual fighting units in here at any moment. Okay, they are in fire at will mode. They should be shooting. I'm not sure. Okay, there we go. There's something. I'm not sure what is going on with these guys. They decided long ago that they knew better than I did about what needed to happen in this battle. Okay, there we go. Finally some commitment. The second unit of salamanders is still just running back and forth outside the wall, ignoring my orders. get through the gate. And that would probably have gone a little bit smoother if if the units had done the things that they were commanded to do. Yeah, we like actually lost units in that battle, which should not have happened against such an easy to defeat force. Sometimes you see this happen in the narrow areas, and I think it's a particular shame in Total War Warhammer because of the fact that the vast majority of combat happens at settlements. Like, you get armies fighting each other in the field sometimes, particularly in the early game, but it's usually you're usually attacking a walled settlement. I mean, most of the battles that you actually play, especially, will be battles at a walled settlement because walled settlement battles are functionally impossible to auto-resolve unless you spend time actually building siege equipment, which you usually do not want to spend the time doing. So the fact that your unit's brains will break when ordered to go like through an open doorway or down a narrow street or something is definitely exacerbated by the fact that that's almost all you'll ever need them to do. So we lost a unit of red-crested skinks. I mean, like, some of these losses are regiments of renown, and as such, they're not real losses. Most of the losses are regiments of renown. This sucks. We lost a unit of max-rank Blessed Pterodon Riders, but we are able to recruit some more. It's not the end of the world. It's frustrating that it happened, and it's especially frustrating because of why it happened, but we'll recover. It'll be fine. So what does Carrick Cadron have in it right now? Okay, it has a flying unit and a cavalry unit building. Oh, I was going to burn this. Well, whatever. We'll just go take Nashrak's Lair, and we'll just hold this province. Not really what I want to be doing, but it is a thing we absolutely can do. So, let's have a quick look at the diplomacy thing. Where do the vampire counts rank in total strength at this moment? Okay, we did eliminate all of their armies. Yeah, a disastrous first turn to the war for them, and like a relatively disastrous first turn for us. We don't really lose units in combat all that often. So I guess they put up a better fight than most of our enemies have. Although, to be perfectly honest, it was our own units putting up the fight, really. The only army they have in the whole world is right here. Yarick's in perfect health, I believe, and can just go take Eschen immediately. We could have Krokgar move around and grab Fort Obersteyr, and then they can meet at Castle Tempelhof, perhaps? We still have our allied Tomb King armies very slowly approaching. I mean, they could have Eschen, I suppose, if they wanted it. I don't particularly need it, since we're not going to be able to complete the province the Castle Drakenhof is in anyway. I don't really need Tempelhof either. I was just thinking, hey, major settlement, that seems important, but it's really not. Yeah, I suppose we don't really need any of this stuff. I just want the vampire counts to be wiped out, because with what we have done to them now, we will never secure peace. We might be able to get a peace treaty from them, like an agreement, but they will be simmering with rage for the rest of eternity. So now that we've started it, we really do have to finish it. Oh, that's right. We have this Chaos Army down here, too. We don't exactly know what they're doing. We really need to have a look at our what our number is trending toward with the dwarves, because I bet that we're talking about a pretty impressive value with everything we did against the greenskins on top of everything we did against the vampire counts. We have basically been accomplishing everything that they wish they could have been accomplishing for, at this point, maybe half of the series, which has just been doing dwarf work. It seems like the Chaos forces are all pretty weak. Skeggy has no armies currently. I wonder who they've been fighting. I think they went to war with that group of orcs over here, didn't they? Oh no, actually it looks like the Sentinels of Zeddy Lizardman faction is doing really well. They must be killing all the Norskins over there. That's good. I think we actually might still be at war with Skeggy. So, how did they manage to get on land and start sieging that city with me right here in ambush mode without revealing me or triggering the ambush? That doesn't make sense. Alright, well, we should probably kill Rainer von Karstein. Not because we particularly need to, but just continuing to gain favor. Let's grab another unit of Pterodon Riders. And we'll let the red-crested skinks go into the other army. So I don't know that I want to pick up anything else that's in this pool right now. And this is certainly a sufficient force to go and crush this very small number of vampires. Take that, Edmund Morrifen. Take that, guy whose name I didn't bother to read. Okay, back to friendly territory, or back to friendly settlement. I desperately need replenishment. I probably should have had these two try to hinder that army's replenishment first, actually, because now they don't have anything to do this turn. Okay, hey dwarves, how do you feel about me now? 407 trending toward 539.
Welcome, friends of the Dowie.
Is that anywhere near good enough? Nope. Alright, like I said, they're on the clock. They have a very limited time to come around on this before I change targets. I know that we have a lot of compelling reasons to upgrade the other stuff around here at this point. What do we want to do in Castle Drakenhof? Oh, I was going to build a weapon crafters commune in case I needed to recruit anything else up here. Right, you go forth and easily conquer this. Yeah, he's not in perfect health, but he's close. Really? How? What is the process by which I would lose a rank 7 unit of Blessed Saurus warriors in this battle? These guys aren't even going to make it into melee. Auto-resolve. I guess, like, the campaign's basically over. I don't care enough to undo it, but that is very annoying. Yeah, they really have to fix auto-resolves, because right now they are horribly broken. And it's been that way since the game launched. Let's, I guess, just get another unit of Saurus warriors in here to replace them. Yeah, sure, for now. Where is this guy? Someday he'll be out of the dangerous part of that mountain pass. Alright, Krokgar grabs you. Oh, I guess I can't push Fort Oberstyre without upsetting the Empire.
Greetings from Sigma.
You know what? Whatever. Our reputation with them is very positive. I'm just gonna go ahead and trespass. Or it actually looks like we could reach Fort Oberstyre if we were like around here. We could reach it in a single move. So let's stop here, go into replenishment mode, and we'll just hit it next turn because we're hitting it next turn either way we do this. Alright, I do believe we are just a few clicks away from having eliminated the last of the major vampire factions, right? I don't think any of the other vampires have survived. The vampires at Musalon got driven out by the Bretonnians long ago, and all of the... there's a vampire faction that starts in the mountains near Bretonnia that I think has been eliminated. And then all of the other vampires in the world start right here. So we've completely wiped... In a minute here, we will have completely wiped a faction group off of the map. There'll be no vampire count players left. Oh no, it looks like that that force that starts in the mountains to the west is actually still alive somehow. Hard to imagine. They're trying to build up in Castle Tempelhof. Something tells me that they will be unsuccessful. Although, thanks to the raise dead mechanic, they were able to instantly grab what looks like maybe 5 units. It looks like about a quarter of that bar full. They'll mostly be very bad units, like normal zombies and stuff. And we can stop them from recruiting by putting the city that they're in under siege, which I believe Yarrick should be able to do on his turn. I think he should be able to cover that much distance. So we'll let Krokgar take Oberstyre, and then he can hit Castle Tempelhof afterward. And I know we're already at the hour, but I think we'll just go ahead and do that in this episode. Let's wrap the vampire thing up completely, and then next episode can be... Or actually, maybe I'll do some of this between episodes off camera. Next episode can be us actually threatening the dwarves after I have marched over to them off camera. Oh, I forgot to have our skink chieftain down there attack and kill that chaos army. Because he's in ambush mode, it didn't ask me for orders, and I totally spaced. That's fine. They'll chill outside the settlement for a couple of turns, building siege towers, and even if they were to attack right now, I believe he is in reinforcement range. I have no idea how many armies this bar represents, because it's hard to know like what strength the AI is assigning to each of them. But it's probably still a pretty large number.
Can you feel it?
Oh, here we go.
From the north it comes. The tendrils of chaos spread south, tainting the lands. And with it, the warriors of chaos march. We must ready ourselves, for war is coming. But who has brought the warring tribes together? What manner of champion holds that power?
Oh no, look out, it's the really lame guy that for some reason Games Workshop is convinced is super cool. Okay, that is Archaon the Everchosen. He is one of our campaign objectives. In order to win our campaign, he must be wounded. That is absolutely a thing that can happen. I'm not going to do Archaon the solid of reading his dumb backstory. He is a bad character, and he will pay the price for his badness. Alright, what are we going to do with Lord Croak? Well, we actually are fighting kind of a lot of undead, but that's just about to come to an end, so I'm not going to stress about this too much. Why don't we just give plus 5% damage reduction to all of our units? That seems pretty good. And you get over here, and for some reason I cannot tell him to attack Fort Oberstyre? Oh, because I have just Lord Croak selected, not the whole army. There we go. Yeah, I know I'm trespassing. They weren't going to let me walk through anyway. completely trivial. Do we just burn it? Yeah, I guess I may as well take over this this area. So, again, let's loot and occupy for the health. And we'll fix this and demolish these two. Alright, so Krukgar will be in perfect condition to take this other settlement on next turn. So what do we want? Weapon strength? Just a huge improvement in weapon strength, followed by a huge improvement in hit points. That's probably the way we do this. We really want to get to swiftness of Itzel, and he's not that far from Grimlock. Oh hey, it's a Brayherd. Well, I might have the movement necessary to kill this Brayherd and then still make it over to here. How are you guys doing? Yeah, you're in pretty good shape. If I put you in... Okay. We can get them down to Eschen in a single move in March mode. I think I'm going to ignore the Brayherd for now. Let's just go to Castle Tempelhof and begin the siege to prevent them from mustering any good units. Okay, they were able to get some alright stuff out of the reinforcement pool there. And it's possible Yarick could take it himself, but there's no reason to do it that way. Right, I believe Ratok actually gets to end his turn in non-attrition territory. So they'll replenish almost all of the damage they took there immediately. And then you guys just try to assassinate vampire agents, I guess. Level 1, level 40, and level 1. Okay, let's try to kill these two brand new vampires. Should be relatively easy. Somebody else is going to have to handle the level 40 guy. That's a little bit beyond our capability. Even Uldo Morin is more likely than not going to be able to eliminate that one. Okay. Yeah, you know what? If I'm going to be sitting here, just waiting, I suppose we may as well... I don't even have the manpower to build a ram in one turn. Well, okay. I was going to say we may as well actually have a battering ram, but it turns out I won't be able to build one in time. That's fine. So we do have our... Oh, no, I thought we had our double move available again, but we have Rite of Ferocity available again. Well, who cares about that? And I think I'm not even going to bother checking in with the dwarves this turn. They'll probably just say no. We can wait another turn, get a little bit more reputation and stuff. It turns out dwarves everywhere, dwarves the world over, love to militarily ally with everyone who isn't me. Yeah, we're still trending up really quickly. We'll probably be in the neighborhood of like 425 points of reputation at the beginning of the next turn. They gotta come around at some point, right? The answer is no. No, they do not. They do not gotta. We certainly hope they will come around at some point. So, if we are in fact going to have to execute on our plan of betraying the dwarves and stealing their two major settlements... Ah, damn it, I forgot to attack with Krepus again. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Like I said, he's in reinforcement range. The Chaos Army can't attack that settlement anyway. And it actually might be better for us if they did attack the settlement rather than us attacking them, because then we would get the benefit of our walls and stuff. And walls are actually pretty powerful against the AI, because they do not handle them well at all. As you might imagine, all of the pathfinding issues and stuff. Yep, the dwarves have created a military alliance with the Empire. Everybody's allied with Middenland. We're so close. So what I was saying is, if we are going to have to like march armies to right outside Karakate Peaks and Karaza Karak, that's complicated somewhat by the fact that somebody has to put down Archaon, and that somebody is almost certainly going to have to be me. Because now we're talking about I was pretty confident we could do it when it looked like it was going to be 2 of our armies at each of the dwarven settlements, and then also we got to figure out, and then also the Southern Badlands thing could be dealt with by Krepus, plus another army that we would recruit in Kemri. But now we have to send some people north. I don't know. Maybe we just focus on Archaon for now, and the war against the Chaos Warriors is enough to push our opinion over into... push their opinion with us over into a military alliance being a smart thing. Oh, hey! Some new Chaos guys spawned. A new type of Chaos guy spawned. Well, we might have to put together that army in Kemri right now. We did not have Chaos units spawning in that bay before. Those guys are going to go directly for my settlements. Well, I guess the Tillians will provide a temporary distraction. Oh wow, that Tillian army actually won. That's crazy. I mean, Norscan armies are not always very powerful. Alright, well, we have some actual defending to do for... I mean, really, kind of the first time ever. We haven't really been attacked by a force that posed any threat to us at all in a very, very long time. But here, like, if the Bjornlings were actually to, like, mass up, we could potentially lose. Okay, so yeah, they attacked with Krepus laying here in wait. I suppose we have to push them off. This is maybe going to make it hard for me to jam the final battle against the vampires into this episode, because we should not auto-resolve this. It looks like the balance of power bar was ready to pretty much hand the battle to them, on top of the fact that Krepus actually does have to come out of this in pretty good shape, because we have to be ready to fight the Bjornlings. So the Bjornlings push us from the north. I'm expecting more Puppets of Chaos armies to come in from the west, now that they sort of know that we're over here. So we definitely have to recruit a backup army, which means we are not going to have the crazy income that we've had every turn for the last few episodes, which means that the dwarves need to come around already. We do not have time to play with them anymore. Alright, so it looks like they just built a couple of battering rams. We're going to have Krepus's army coming in from the back somehow, despite the fact that they should be reinforcing from out here. And that would create a more interesting battle as well. This is just kind of like the least fun way for this to go down. I'm going to move our Saurus Scar Veteran back to here. I have no idea where I'm going to want him to show up. We probably do want a lot of these units over here. Where's my 1 unit of flyers? Okay, they want to start it all the way in the back. That's hugely wrong. Where's the white line that determines how far forward my Vanguard units can start? Oh, okay. It looks like Vanguard deployment just doesn't do anything in siege battles. Fair enough, I guess. Because, like, obviously these guys have to go and harass the Hell Cannon immediately. And as the reinforcement army comes in, we got to get their flyers out here as well. Oh, immediately we get the Plague of Rust. You know, a reduction in the armor of these Pterodon riders is probably not actually meaningful. Oh, we should have our towers targeting the important units. So the odds that we're going to be able to get the battering rams down are basically 0. But we can have the towers work together to take down some of the better melee units, soften up their force as they approach. We won't be able to stop them from getting into the walls, but we can do some good damage to them. Actually, we should probably... Do I want to just shoot the Hell Cannon? Oh, are you guys not... Somehow you guys are not far enough over to claim this tower. This tower absolutely should be ours. The Flyers will get the Hell Cannon. Although, remarkably, it seems like only one of my reinforcement units is coming in. I'm going to try to have the towers focus on other stuff. Are they really going to trickle in a single unit at a time? They absolutely are, huh? Alright, just make sure that you are outside the area of their attack. I mean, actually, we can come over here and drop some rocks, too. Try to get this done quickly. Remember, they can just kill the, they could kill the Hell Cannon itself. That would be pretty cool. Battering rams are approaching very, very slowly. Okay, so they're putting ladders up on the walls. This is not terribly bad for us. Like they're gonna win melee against these units, obviously, but they're climbing up the walls. They're gonna get tired. We can probably try to swap these units' positions a little bit. We can probably defeat them pretty easily once they've tired themselves out on our front line. A lot of the units in the garrison are going to die. There's no two ways about that. But they're also, like, I hate to put it so plainly, but they're also not terribly important. You know, they'll just regenerate for free. So if they all die, it's kind of whatever. Let's get flying units over by this thing. Okay, the Hell Cannon itself is dead. I don't care about the, I don't care about the crew at all. My gates were destroyed by Chaos Trolls. Oh no! And the time has come for a Spear Rider charge. I need to keep grabbing our reinforcement units as they come in. So the battering rams are almost over here, and we definitely want a bunch of these units ready to deal with that, but I think we can send some of the spears over in the other direction. The bad news is, of course, that they are sources, and so it's going to take them a really long time to get over here. Actually, you guys do fire damage. Get over here and attack these trolls. Trolls do not like fire. As is the case with all regenerating units. Right. They sort of executed a charge. That was a pretty half-assed charge. Get over here and start with this. The salamanders. Salamanders are an interesting question. Where do we set up the salamanders? I might actually just put the salamanders here for now. You guys already have orders. We don't have to stress too much over here. I guess they're starting to get over the wall. We should have some spears in the area. We should have some skirmishers in the area for poison delivery. There's my Carnosaur. It's the Engine of the Gods, Degadon. We should have Engine of the Gods pretty much right now, right? Okay, we have to get a little bit closer. But that's going to be very effective. So I'm going to have the Carnosaur go this way. The Ancient Salamander really needs to be with the other Salamanders, which is to say, probably headed toward this side, because this is where all the large stuff is coming in. Let's have it group up with them first. And we'll have the spears here. We'll cover their approach, hopefully. Provided the spears actually get there in time. Not really sure what's happening over here. Sorry, that's not what I want. I want this. Right, they're not as tightly grouped as the last time we did one of these, but it should still be pretty good. Yeah, some damage was done. That was okay. What a good spell. What a good spell, and also what a good looking spell. Alright, they're climbing the walls everywhere. Like, we're going to lose a bunch of units that are kind of imaginary. Chaos Trolls retreat because they are cowards. The Ancient Salamander has decided that this would be a good time to stop and fight instead of going to the place he was supposed to go. We get the 2 units. I really wish these 2 units of Salamanders weren't separated in the unit card by thing. It's kind of annoying. Alright, so who are you? Okay, we still have reinforcement units coming in, remarkably. Let's get these guys over here, because we are going to have to drop some bombs, I think. Alright, here we go. We want... Once he's away, he should be able to make it to a safe place pretty easily, because he is very fast. Chariots getting crushed, as chariots tend to do as soon as they've actually entered melee. Firebombs, ooh, they have spells of their own. Okay, so those guys are done for. Let's turn some cavalry around over here. Yeah, I'm really not that concerned about what's going on the wall over here. This might be the least important part of the battle. Let's have these skinks just try to keep dudes busy on the wall, because I think that really benefits us. Oh, you're the Ark of Sotek guy. We should probably get you a little bit more involved. The gate has failed. Make sure that we are actually committing to combat here, not just standing nearby. I think Krepus can just wade in, right? He's pretty tough. I would love to see him... I'm really worried about these move orders that are like, hey, run all the way out there. Alright, the units on the walls are being slowed down. I don't think we have to worry too much about this side. I think this side will hold on its own. We broke all of the guys over here. Probably the next move for the Salamanders, I'm just going to command group the Salamanders so that I have easy access to them, is this. Still have some horses that have to get dealt with. But I think we can sort of just cede this edge of the battle for the moment. I don't think there's anything happening over there that's interesting. You guys get over here, and we have this big group of flyers that need a new role. Well, we could have them report over to this side. I guess that, yeah, this side's going to get pretty dense with melee units. This would be a good place to drop rocks. Hey, you, why don't you come over here and join us? I'm not expecting the Chaos Forces to find much purchase against the Carnosaur backed up by a bunch of Saurus Spears. And unfortunately, our Holy Stella is just not very useful against Chaos, because Chaos is very light on ranged units. They do have some of their Marauder Horseman units are actually like dudes who throw axes and javelins on the backs of horses, but I think we might have already dealt with those units. Things are not good for them. Let's try to make sure we're keeping the spears focused on the cavalry. And yeah, like if we could just maybe get a nice rock drop off here. And that seems pretty good. Oh, these guys are... You know what? Get down off the wall. Get down off the wall. We could actually really use you down here. I'm not sure I even want to do another rock drop on these wall dudes. I think they might be kind of solved. Let's get over here. Over here, we definitely have people who could have rocks dropped on them. I think we're probably doing pretty well in the middle. Some of these guys unbroke, and so we are re-breaking them. Hey, you three, maybe get out here. We get out here and help a little bit. Our Saurus Scar veteran is holding his own. I mean, he's a big dude. These Chaos Warriors are... Oh, wow. I was about to say these Chaos Warriors are pretty badass, but how are you going to fight a bunch of dinosaur men riding better dinosaurs? But then, right as I was about to say a good thing about how badass they were, they broke and retreated. Yeah, that was a completely foregone conclusion. There was no way that army was going to be able to take that city if it had any backup at all. I will say, I'm unimpressed with the garrison that the full garrison building provides. Kind of crappy, but the walls are the really important part. The thing you really want out of that is not the ability to win the battle by itself, but the ability for, like, the fact that the AI will not attack the settlement immediately. They'll give you a couple of turns to respond. You can have a smaller number of armies in the area playing zone defense and just running over to where the walls get in trouble, instead of having to have an army that is actually at each important settlement. Because I don't know if you've noticed, but armies get really expensive really quickly. Yeah, this episode's pushing 90 minutes already. I guess we'll have to leave the final battle of the vampires till next time. Stupid Chaos Warriors always getting in the way. And somehow a portion of this army survives to run away. Alright. The oncoming Chaos forces seem to have prompted a strong desire to work together in many of our friends and our friends' friends. Let's see if this is enough to push the dwarves over into actually wanting that alliance.
Aye.
Yeah, there's that Shield of Civilization trait. I thought it kicked in as soon as the Chaos Wave started, but apparently it doesn't actually happen until you get that, until Archaon spawns.
All here are honored.
Oh, that's yellow. Hold on, let's just try it. Let's just try it now. Okay, the Shield of Civilization is what it took. So, if we go and we look at our objective list now, this is almost a check. We just have to resolve the Southern Badlands. Oh, this is the long list. We have enough Star Chambers. We've destroyed all the factions. Great big check mark right there on the difficult one. So all we have to do is ensure that Archaon the Everchosen is in a wounded state while we control all of this stuff. So we do have to resolve the Southern Badlands, although now that the Shield of Civilization thing has happened, I wonder if we could just get a proper... We might be able to just negotiate a proper military alliance with all of the factions who hold... Unfortunately, it is broken up between 4 people. Looks like they might go for it. And what about Stalia? They're not into it yet, although we are continuing to trend upward dramatically with them, and they do have the Shield of Civilization trait. So, if we can wound Archaon, we might be able to just ally with all 4 of these players and get the Southern Badlands checkmark that way. That's not exactly how I imagined doing it, but at this point, anything that works is good enough. So that's going to be it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching. Come back next time for the end of the vampires and probably a whole lot of dinosaurs eating Chaos Warriors. And we'll see you then.